Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, is on episode 3 of In Another World with my smartphone. And honestly, I gotta say, this episode, in comparison to the first 2 episodes, which I did enjoy, this episode was actually like 10 times better in my opinion. I actually really enjoyed this episode. That probably has to do more with the fact that I enjoyed the second half of this episode a lot more, because it really brought out, I guess, that fantasy RPG aspect of them, you know, finding a dungeon, going in it, all of a sudden a trap activates, here comes the, you know, the boss, the main boss and everything. And I don't know, I'm just a sucker for those kind of things, I guess because I'm a huge gamer and because I love to play RPGs and stuff like that. So when you get to see that in an anime or a TV show or, you know, anything, a movie or any of those sorts, I always get so hyped up to see them. And it was pretty enjoyable. It was cool to see, even if, you know, Toya just gets super OP every time. It makes me feel like, is there anything that can beat him? Is this going to be an anime where he's just, you know, going to be able to beat everything every single time? It's just, it takes more of him having to think a little bit more. Like, he has to think how he can use this spell, because he can pretty much use every spell. We saw him use like so many different spells in this one. It's like, oh, you need to do this, he does it. You need this, does it. It seems like he could just learn a spell and instantly, the whole fact that no magic is there just makes him so much more OP. Like, if, you know, he was already OP if he just had the whole thing with, you know, him knowing fire, water, you know, all the basic elements. That would be OP enough already, you know. But of course they have to do the whole thing with him having every no magic pretty much as well. Physically he's OP, like I said before, and of course now, you know, with the magic he's OP. His smartphone is super OP, and just like literally that he has every single information on there. For example, we saw in the beginning part of this episode him creating a shogi board, which it was pretty funny to see that part. Like, the first half of the episode is more of a slice of life, honestly, and that's kind of where I thought that the anime was going towards. But I definitely did enjoy that they did bring on that other aspect in the second half, at least, you know, because the first half, it was, like I said, more of a slice of life. It was funny. It was like, oh my gosh, what is he gonna make next? He already made, you know, a shogi board. What is next? Literally, like I keep saying, he can honestly just he can just rule the world. He can create anything from his world, because not only does he have a smartphone which has like every single, you know, all the information from how to make these things in the old world, but he pretty much has all these things, no magic, which just makes it super OP that there's practically a no magic for every little thing. So if he knows about it, if he learns about it, he can use it, and then of course he can just make whatever he wants. So honestly, pretty damn OP. And it doesn't help that they give him a coat. At first I thought the coat was just for fashion. It looks pretty cool, honestly, you know. It definitely gives that main character kind of look, but of course they had to make him even more OP on the fact that the coat also makes it that it like makes his defense against affinities that he has like super strong. And then of course, obviously there is a drawback usually, and the fact that if there's an affinity he doesn't have, it doubles the damage on him. But honestly, he has every affinity, so obviously he's just super OP at this point. I keep bringing it up because that's just like kind of the main thing of this series, is the fact that he is super OP. But another main thing that I actually really did enjoy about this episode was the fact that he finally used his smartphone more. In the second episode, honestly, I was kind of disappointed by the fact that he didn't really use it that much. And considering that, you know, the main thing that makes this anime different from the rest of, you know, the other animes in this genre is the fact that it's, you know, he has a smartphone, I would have expected that he would use it a lot more. But nonetheless, he did use it a bunch of times in this one, which finally, at least, you know, I honestly can't wait to see what other ways he uses it, because honestly, so far he's used it in the ways that we would figure, you know. He used it for time, he used it for, you know, the camera function, he used it for obviously searching up info for when he's making things and stuff like that. Those make sense. Those are the normal kind of things, but I'm wondering if there's anything different that he could do with it, considering the fact that, you know, it's supposed to be this, you know, something that makes it completely different from anything. So I would expect it to be, I don't know, something special, something different that we'd be like, holy shit, I did not expect that at all. While if it doesn't do that, it's still enjoyable and still fun. It would be cool if there's something that, like, I do not expect him to use it in that certain way, you know. But yeah, nonetheless, definitely a very enjoyable episode. Beginning part definitely kind of made me think it was going to be about like, oh, guess what's next? Animal Girls, because everyone always loves that. Let's throw in some Fox Girls. But for some reason, they threw those two girls in and we never saw them again. I thought they were going to be like part of his harem, but I guess they were just there just to say, hey, there's also, you know, there's animal people in this anime as well, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, nonetheless, definitely an enjoyable episode. Best, episode of the season so far. Even though there's only been 3, I definitely gotta admit, it's been getting better and better and better. So who knows? Maybe it'll get better in the, these future episodes. Maybe it'll get worse. Honestly, with these kind of animes, it's always a question mark. So yeah, just gotta wait and see how the next episodes do go. But nonetheless, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still gonna continue to review it, even though, of course, like, I don't know, I gotta bring it up. I always check the forums just to check it, just to see how people, what people think and everything. And there's this one person that I saw that was like, oh my gosh, it has, this and that. It's just like Konosuba. And I'm over here like, most of the things he said, like the Dullahan and, dungeons and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty much that's in any kind of of this genre, fantasy genre. It doesn't even have to be an anime, it could be a game and it's gonna have those kind of things. So I don't really understand why people always just, I guess because it's like the freshest thing in your mind. Like Konosuba is probably, at least for a lot of people, the most popular one that came for this genre most recently, so I can kind of understand that. And obviously in this episode there was the whole explosion part, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, where's Megumin? Where's Megumin? But honestly, it's pretty funny. Like, if they do, like, throw in those kind of things every once in a while, like just one episode or one every so episode, not every episode, then it'll be, it's like a funny kind of thing. It's like, hey, it's kind of teasing Konosuba. Obviously, like in the last episode, the whole thing with him saying that he can maybe steal their panties, and then this one with the explosion. It's pretty funny at that. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, look, it's trying to copy, because it's honestly kind of joking around about that kind of aspect. It's not really taking it serious, So whenever I see people like that, it's always just like, dude, calm down, man. Just enjoy the anime, If you don't like it, then stop. That's like, I never understand why people watch an anime and continue it just to like talk and hate on it in like the forums and everything. It's like, if you don't like it, stop, I tend to continue to watch certain ones even if I don't like it, just to see. Sometimes I see something that may get better or something. But sometimes when I see people like just full on hating it, it's like, if you hate it that much, why are you torturing yourself? Just stop, I never understand it, honestly. But yeah, that's all I pretty much got to say about this episode, guys. Hopefully in the future, maybe we will get, that fan service slime episode, as, you saw in this episode. Honestly, probably, I almost forgot to mention that part. When I saw that, I was cracking up. But when he brings up the slime thing again, they obviously say no. And he starts thinking to himself, and all of a sudden the images of obviously all the girls and their clothes being disintegrated by the slime. Yeah, I would not mind that, honestly. And I'm not going to lie, at this point, I'd be kind of disappointed if that doesn't actually even happen. If it doesn't happen, it's like, really? You teased it like several times and you're not gonna do it? I don't know. Hopefully they do, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I love me some fan service, and a slime in just melting their clothes. I mean, that's pretty hot, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, now it's officially all I gotta say about this episode, guys. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, feel like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about the episode? Good, bad? Feel free to comment below. It's always awesome to hear your guys' thoughts. And until next time, guys, see ya.